Proverbs 27 and 17 says, Iron sharpeneth iron, so a man sharpen the countenance of his friend. Amen. Let's not talk about you bring the best out of me, or you bring out the best in me. Amen. It's been said that there's bad in everybody. There's also some good in everybody. But how hard is it to understand the ways and the works of God? God, His Word compares a man to a tree planted by the rivers of water, shall not be moved. God compares man to an ant. Says he ought to be busy like the ant. God compares man's righteousness to filthy rags, which tell us no matter how well, how good we try to do, we can't do good enough for God. Even man's life is compared to the grass. Today is here, and tomorrow gone. Well, let's look at how God compares the sharpening of iron and the sharpening of man. What is the significance of iron sharpening iron? I have a knife set Mom brought me some years ago, and I've learned every time I get ready to clean fish, I've learned that if I take time and just sharpen the knife, my fish cleaning task goes a lot faster. But I have to use the iron to sharpen the iron. In biblical times, there were spears and swords they used in war. And in order for those spears and swords to be effective, they had to sharpen them. And if they sharpen the spears and sharpen the swords, they could easily wound the enemy. Brothers and sisters, you need to keep your sword sharp at all times. Because you don't know when the devil that runs line will try to attack you. And you need the word on the inside. Am I right, somebody? Even the nails, they nailed in Jesus' hand. Feet they had to be sharp. I'm not glad that they nailed nails in his hands, but I am happy that he stayed on the nails. Anybody else here happy that he didn't come down? Prove who you are. Come down. He stayed right there. So what is the significance of iron sharpening iron? How can man be compared to iron? Well, Job says that iron comes from the earth. Is God trying to tell us that we ought to be careful not to think too high of ourselves? Can we just come from the earth? Because you know sometimes folk get a little money, folk get a little education, folk get a little, and they think they're bigger than who they think they really are. Perhaps God is trying to tell us how he told Israel that they were stiff-necked, having iron necks. Is God saying that sometimes we just hard-headed? For maybe he's alluded to the fact that even I will move in the power of God. 2 Kings 6:6 talks about a man was working out there, and Elisha was there, and the man was working and messed around, and the axe flew off the hammer. From the hammer hit the river. The man said, "Alice, my lord, it was borrowed. It was borrowed. It didn't belong to me. I lost the man's axe." Prophet actually said, "Where did it fall?"
All right.
To the stick. To the stick in the water. The Bible said, watch this. The Bible said, and the iron did swim. Not float. But now that's power, y'all. Iron can't do nothing, but the Bible said, but iron did swim. Now, what am I saying? What am I saying? I believe that maybe God is trying to tell us, if I can move at the power of God, what about my people? If I ain't got enough sense to know when the presence and the power of God is in the house, it'll move. What about God's people? I know sometimes folks say, well, when I get happy, some folk cry, some dance, some run, some shout, some wave their hand, but some folk don't do nothing. And I'm kind of concerned because Jesus said when he was going to Jerusalem, when the children was crying out and praising his name, the Pharisees said, "Tell them be quiet, tell them hush, tell them hush." Jesus said, like, if they be quiet, the rest of them have to cry. In other words, somebody got to say something. Is God trying to show us that there's a time to cry out to him?
All right.
How is iron compared to me? Let's see almost. Let's see how we compare iron and the sharpening of iron to how man sharpens his friend. Well, iron under the right pressure will bend sometime. Brothers and sisters, if we're going to help sharpen one another, if we're going to bring the best out of each other, we have to bend sometime. In other words, can't have it your way all the time. Somebody don't talk to me in here. Iron is a strong material. And if we're going to sharpen our friends, we have to do like the Bible said. The Bible said the strong ought to bear the infirmities of the weak. In other words, there's some things that we see going on in our brother and sister life, and rather than pulling them down, we should down. Let them know we're here for you. You're not by yourself. You ain't the first one made a mistake in your life. We're here for you. Because you're strong. Do you think God made you strong for you to enter a muscle building contest and flex your muscle? No. God expects you to use your spiritual growth, your spiritual muscles to help lift up your brothers and sisters. I'm used as a game. I believe if we're going to sharpen our brothers and sisters, we ought to protect one another. Maybe I said we ought to protect one another. I don't know how you feel about me, but let me tell you how I feel about you, St. Paul. I don't let nobody talk about St. Paul. I don't care if I do got some lies, they're my lies. I don't care who they are. If God put them under my care, they belong to me. And I'm going to protect them from all, and I protect them from themselves. Iron, sometimes when you look at iron, if you're trying to get a different form, if